I want to share with you my 3-step workflow that I use to build front ends that don't look like AI slop. And yeah, it's a tough thing to do. It's been a painful journey finding all of the tips and tricks, figuring out how I can actually build front ends that don't look like every other front end, building front ends that customers can trust, and also building front ends that have a much higher conversion rate. And all of that ties into just building front ends that don't contain design slop. And the 3-step workflow is super easy to use. And if you're struggling with this, I'm pretty sure you can implement it also very fast in your design process. There's 3 steps. Start with building references. Very often it's AI generated mockups, as well as looking for inspiration and taking screenshots. Then building a design language, design guidelines. For that, I use Claude Design. And then last but not least is using different no-slop skills within Claude Design or your harness of choice. And there are a few that I'm going to share with you at the end, which are really, really useful. Then afterwards, it's just normal building the whole front end, iterating, making it production ready, but without the whole slop. So with the first one, what I like to do is actually looking for different inspiration on Google. I would take some screenshots and then I build a mock-up that I really like. I'm actually going to then maybe add some improvements, create different variations. And when I've got that, I'm moving over to the second step, which is basically building the design language. And I actually do that with Claude Design. So I'm actually building this crypto dashboard. I've been working on this for quite a while and I have to improve all of the layout so that it doesn't look like AI slop. And this is also my main workflow. So before I actually build any pages, I want to have a branding guideline that LLMs can use for each page that they build so that there's a very strong uniformity throughout the site. And this branding guideline is going to have a lot of text. It's basically like prompts telling the LLM how it should actually implement different elements like the logo, how the colors interact on the site, typography information, as well as controls and buttons. What I also recommend, apart from the branding guideline, is that you build a components guideline, which is basically all of the important components that are on your website, which are going to be reused. And you want them also to be uniform. So you don't want the panels to be different on one page as well as the other. You want them to be the same, as that actually increases the trust and stickiness of users. Same here with actions, buttons, different charts. So here are the charts that I'm actually using. And I want to have a lot of I want to be able to change everything before I implement that with the real data. Then last but not least, then I can start building some pages, and actually wanted to build a dashboard that will be used a lot. And this is what it looks like. And one thing that I really like with Claude Design is that here I can actually click on edit and I can actually interact with any element, and I can actually start configuring that here on the left hand side. I don't use that often, but maybe if it should have maybe different text or different fonts, I might change that here. But what I really like to do is here click on comment, and then you can actually start drawing stuff. So I can maybe circle this text or these texts here, and then maybe make a square around this element here. And then what I can do is use another tool to record a large voice message and then put that in as a note for the drawing so that it really understands what it should change. And this process is a lot faster than any of the other processes that I've seen. And it's included in Claude, in your Claude subscription. So I feel like it's incredibly valuable in order to get much higher quality front ends. Then the last step that I mentioned is actually the skills, so the no-slop skill. I've got a portable no-slop skill, front-end no-slop, that I actually like to use for any type of front-end design that I'm doing. But that also works for different maybe charts or one-page layouts. And this is incredibly powerful. It just tells LLM what it should not generate and what design styles are typically used by AI models and what it should not use. Then this is the portable one, but if you want to take it to another level, you can actually choose one of these three that I'm going to share with you. And these ones are a little bit more complex to use, but it's fine. If you're using a harness like Codex or Claude Code, you can actually just copy the GitHub link and it will install it for you. So the first one is TasteSkill, the anti-slop front-end framework for AI agents. And what I like about this is that it's got many different variations of their skill. So the output is not always the same type of design. So depending on your design brief, you might want to use one or the other. As an example here, the brutalist skill. It's a very Swiss type of skill, sharp contrast, hard mechanical language. I will try this one soon, so I might share that with you. The next one is DESIGN.md, and this is also very similar. And you can just say, build me a page that looks like this, and you share a screenshot, and it's going to create a high quality front end that doesn't look like crap. And you can also give that to different AI agents. The last one is a very popular one, which is Impeccable Style. And this is basically the missing design vocabulary for agents. And this is probably one of the first ones I I started exploring. And what I really like about it is it's also teaching a lot about what AI slop looks like when it comes to front ends. As an example here, you've got an example of how the Impeccable Style removes all of the front end AI slop, and I feel like it looks a lot cleaner, less cluttered. And I feel like this is also one of the easiest ones that you can share with someone that you see is using AI to create front ends, but their front ends look like crap. You can maybe send them this and it will automatically improve their front ends by a mile.